Those who have a why to live, can bear with almost any how. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. In some ways suffering ceases to be suffering at the moment it finds a meaning, such as the meaning of a sacrifice. Love is the only way to grasp another human being in the innermost core of his personality. For the world is in a bad state, but everything will become still worse unless each of us does his best. Life is not primarily a quest for pleasure, as Freud believed, or a quest for power, as Alfred Adler taught, but a quest for meaning. The greatest task for any person is to find meaning in his or her own life. No one can become fully aware of the very essence of another human being unless he loves him. Faith is trust and ultimate meaning. Life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by lack of meaning and purpose. Even a genius cannot completely resist his zeitgeist, the spirit of his time. For the meaning of life differs from man to man, from day to day and from hour to hour. What matters, therefore, is not the meaning of life in general but rather the specific meaning of a person's life at a given moment. Live as if you were living a second time, and as though you had acted wrongly the first time. Ultimately, man should not ask what the meaning of his life is, but rather he must recognize that it is he who is asked. Challenging the meaning of life is the truest expression of the state of being human. Ever more people today have the means to live, but no meaning to live for. Each man is questioned by life, and he can only answer to life by answering for his own life. To life he can only respond by being responsible. I recommend that the Statue of Liberty be supplemented by a Statue of Responsibility on the West Coast. Happiness must happen, and the same holds for success. You have to let it happen by not caring about it. If you call religious a man who believes in what I call a super meaning, a meaning so comprehensive that you can no longer grasp it, get hold of it in rational intellectual terminology, then one should feel free to call me religious, really. The point is not what we expect from life, but rather what life expects from us. There is nothing in the world, I venture to say, that would so effectively help one to survive even the worst conditions as the knowledge that there is a meaning in one's life. No man should judge unless he asks himself in absolute honesty whether in a similar situation he might not have done the same. View life as a series of movie frames. The ending and meaning may not be apparent until the very end of the movie, and yet, each of the hundreds of individual frames has meaning within the context of the whole movie. The attempt to develop a sense of humor and to see things in a humorous light is some kind of a trick learned while mastering the art of living. You don't create your mission in life, you detect it. We can discover this meaning in life in 3 different ways: 1. By doing a deed, 2. By experiencing a value, and 3. By suffering. Decisions, not conditions, determine what a man is. Life ultimately means taking the responsibility to find the right answer to its problems and to fulfill the tasks which it constantly sets for each individual. Success is total self-acceptance. Every human being has the freedom to change at any instant. For what then matters is to bear witness to the uniquely human potential at its best, which is to transform a personal tragedy into a triumph, to turn one's predicament into a human achievement. The more one forgets himself, by giving himself to a cause to serve or another person to love, the more human he is. The quest for meaning is the key to mental health and human flourishing. Even when it is not fully attained, we become better by striving for a higher goal. God is the partner of your most intimate soliloquies. A man who becomes conscious of the responsibility he bears toward a human being who affectionately waits for him, or to an unfinished work, will never be able to throw away his life. He knows the why for his existence, and will be able to bear almost anyhow.